I'm a precious audience. Welcome to Writers Entity. Let's talk about books. Here comes yet another video, and I hope you all are doing great. So today's video is about a book which has a very nostalgic title. It is A Leaf Upon a Book by Anam Tariq. And before I say anything, the cover of the book is gorgeous right here. And like it or not, people's first opinion about any book is its cover. So the author does have a plus point here. So an introduction of the author has been given at the starting of the book, which I am gonna read. Anam Tariq did her MA in English from Aligarh Muslim University, AMU, Aligarh, India. Alongside being a poet, she aspires to have a career in the academic field and is currently teaching English part-time. Apart from poetry, she writes academic papers too. She tries to indite poetry which resonates with everyone. Her poems have appeared in 3 consecutive women's college magazines at AMU, poetry anthologies Going Off the Grid and India Without a Mask, The Poetics and Politics of the Pandemic, in Kochi, Cultura E-Magazine, The Punch Magazine, New Reader Magazine, The Alipore Post on Live Wire and elsewhere. She has also won 2 third prizes for her poetry in 2 poetry competitions held at AMU. When Anam is not prompting her imagination for verse, she is using it to envisage a world out of contemporary novels that she loves to read. For updates, visit Anam's website www.anamtariq.in or find her on Instagram anam.tariq_ or at www.facebook.com/anam.tariq.5015. So that's a lot of information about the author. There has been so many sites, and even I found the author on Instagram. And here I have the book. A Leaf Upon a Book is a 25 poem collection with illustrations all over. The poetry is covering scenarios we all have been through at some point of life. Scenarios such as the blurb suggest. Many a time, verse letters from this casement bear scribblings of obsessions of society's hitches and surprises for self. A cloud climbs and sun-kissed orchards of wilderness and temperature deeps, of candid summers and invisible strings, of praise to the prophet, of gallantry of his progeny, of a deft metamorphosis of the play of counterfeit self, of a response to Dickinson's verse and cynical chess, a medley of 25 poems holding something for everyone. And then there is this person, Anita Nahal, Indian American poet, who has commented on her poetry, this book. So let me tell you about the poetries. I'm going to tell you about few of the initial poetries that I have read, and to be honest, I could relate to most of them. And the first poem is about a child and his or her desire to grow up faster, and that desire slowly lessens when the child grows up. And it is a thing that has happened with quite a lot of us, and even I was like, I just want to grow up. And as soon as I am starting to age, I'm getting older, I'm like, no, I don't want to actually. So the desire changes, and it being the first poem and being so relatable on a topic that is so relatable for everyone, the reader finds relatability, which is a very good point. The next poem talks about the relationship between parents and their children and gratitude. And what that poem gives out is that this generation is at a serious lack of gratitude, and as the famous quote suggests, regret is more powerful than gratitude. It indeed is, and this poem expresses the same thing. With the next poem, I was surprised with the sudden enhancement of literature, words fusion, because till now the poems were feeling like a little girl is writing it, and now all of a sudden it just changed. The words changed so drastically. The level has been so upgraded, and the verses were too poetic to only read once. I went to some verses and read them again and again because they were so beautiful. So this poem, which has the enhancement of words, is about how human soul is very pure and how evils of this world darkens it. Like we say, when a child is born, it is pure, no bad deeds has been done. No bad deeds has been done, and it is the pure form of human. But as the child grows up, evils come, lies, fake promises, betrayals and whatnot, and everybody does something or other, and the soul darkens as the evil of the world consumes a person. The next poem is Lawlessness, and to be very honest, I quite didn't like this poem, and it would be fair to say that it was my most least favorite. What an ironical word I used. It was my least favorite poems of the whole poetry collection, because the subtopics which were being talked about were very big topics and they could have been discussed more. It felt like the poet is trying to fit in as much as she could in small words, but that is what poetry is about. But still, it just created a kind of chaos. Like we weren't over with what the poet said in the first verse, and then the second verse came and something different came. So I'm like, I want to know what the poet has more views about. It was just like an idea came and it put it down. So it was kind of my least favorite poem out of all the poems in this poetry. The next poem talks about a very nostalgic memory from everyone's childhood, and the ending is quite not predicted. I was like, wait, what happened? Like the end of the poem came and like, wait, what just happened? And then I reread the verse which had the sudden change, and I'm like, oh, this means this. So it was a very like kind of dark thing. Then the next poem, A Stroll, A Perception, is my personal favorite out of all the poetries in the book. In the starting of the book, there was an author's note, and it was mentioned that there is this poetry which has been written on the thought of a picture which was seen on the internet. So it was like a nature thing, I guess, and there was a lot of, I guess, forest. Like a person can write that poem only if they have experienced it, like the winds, how it felt, everything. But when I got to the poet wrote this after seeing a picture on the internet, I was quite surprised because it felt like she was there. Like when it happened, how she expressed, it was too expressive and it was so amazing to read, so beautiful, so soft to read, and she wrote it. So it's quite very appreciable how she is writing things while not experiencing, yet writing so amazingly about things. The next poem talks about the inequality between the rich and the poor, and how the rich throws money and gets everything they want while the poor have to suffer. And this is a very great topic in India, and even in the NCERT books which I have read few days ago for my exams, it was mentioned about the inequalities that has been there in our society of the rich, of the middle class and the poor. How drastic the level of wealth there is between the three levels of the society that people are divided into. And I guess this is a very amazing poem which was written. So this for the few poems I was gonna tell you about, and I think I shouldn't tell more or the author is gonna kill me. Another thing which I loved about this book is the author's note at the starting of the book. And to be very honest, I've read many of the books, and the author's note in each one of them was a mere formality, and here it felt very personalized. Like there was a lot of love for the book given, and I felt really good reading it because as a reader, we just don't want formalities, we want genuine reactions, genuine words, and that was there, done by Anam, the author of the book, poet of the book. It was very nice. And if you want to read the blurb and the amazing pieces of art given in this book, you go run and buy this book. It is available on many websites, and I will put the link in the description and you can get it. So that's it. That was my review on this book, and I am obsessed with the cover of this book and the blurb too. The blurb is written so well and the cover is so beautiful, like so simple and nostalgic and amazing. So that's it for this time. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below which was your favorite part, or did you relate to this video, or are you gonna buy the book? Share this video with your bookworm friends, subscribe to my channel, and up until next time, bye bye.